Today we're going to add and subtract numbers written in scientific notation. So you know what's coming up in the expectations. We're first going to take the numbers written in scientific notation and rewrite them in standard form. We're then going to add or subtract to combine/simplify the numbers, and then write the final answer in scientific notation. Let's take a look at the first example here. 2 1/10 times 10 to the third power plus 4 4/10 times 10 to the third power. So first step, let's rewrite these numbers in standard form. Taking 2 1/10, multiplying it by 10 to the third power, or 1,000, we get 2,100. Looking at 4.4 times 10 to the third power, also multiplying by 1,000, we get the number 4,400. Next, we'll go ahead and add, since that's the specified operation. And if we add 2,100 and 4,400, we get 6,500. Our final step is to rewrite that number in scientific notation, looking at where the decimal currently is after 6,500, and looking at where we want it to be between the 6 and the 5 to get that number between 1 and 10. We have to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 places. And so we have the leading number, our constant, 6.5, times 10 to the third power. Remove that decimal 1, 2, 3 times, and it remains positive as we are looking at a big number. Looking at another example, this time with subtraction, we have 8 times 10 to the fifth power minus 7 6/10 times 10 to the fifth power. Let's go ahead and expand 8 times 10 to the fifth power. That's going to be 8 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, 800,000. And if we look at 7.6 times 10 to the fifth power, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 760,000. Combining them through subtraction, we'll be left with 40,000. Now we need to write that number from standard form to scientific notation, looking at where the decimal is currently after the 40,000, and then looking at where we want it to be between the 4 and the 0, so that number's between 1 and 10. We move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4 times to the left, and so we'll be left with 4, or 4.0, times 10 to the fourth power, because we move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And that is our final answer written in scientific notation. We have the number between 1 and 10, multiplied by a power of 10. This last example switches things up a little bit, as we have different exponents on our numbers written in scientific notation. Our process remains the same. We have 3.5 times 10 to the fourth plus 3.1 times 10 to the fifth. Let's go ahead and expand. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 35,000 for this first number. Plus 3.1 times 10 to the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 310,000. And so our place value switches a little bit when we combine these through addition. We will get 345,000. And then rewriting this into scientific notation, the decimal is currently at the end of the number, if not written elsewhere. We want it to be between the 3 and the 4, so we get that number between 1 and 10. And looking at how many times the decimal moves, that's 5 times. So our final answer, 3.45 times 10 to the fifth. It does stay a positive 5, as this is a big number. And now the leading number, our constant, is between 1 and 10.